Hello and welcome to this review of this rather bright Schecter Sun Valley Super Shredder with Sustainiac. That's a lot of S's, but it's a lot of guitar, as you're about to find out. I know what you're thinking, why has an old bloke like you got a guitar like this? And it's a pretty good question. The answer is purely for the sound of it, not particularly for the look of it, although it is pretty wild, and I do kind of secretly like it. My wife thinks I'm mad. I'll tell you the story of how I came to get this guitar, and if you don't want to hear all this, I'll timestamp this so you can go straight to where I actually played the thing. Yeah, a few weeks ago I started writing some new instrumentals and songs and things, and I was looking for a guitar sound, a particular guitar sound with loads of sustain. I use Bias FX software in Reason, and it's pretty good. But I've got a Variax guitar, you can probably see behind me here, and a Strat over there. But try as I may, I couldn't get the kind of continuous sustain that I really wanted. And I remember watching a guy called Pete Jones, who is actually the keyboard player for Camel. I'm wearing my Camel Tour t-shirt. I'm a big fan of Andy Latimer. And anyway, Pete Jones solo stuff, he plays guitar, and he's got, I think it's an Ibanez guitar with a Sustainiac pickup, one of these things. He plays it on a stand like a keyboard, absolutely amazing, gets a great sound. Check him out. Pete Jones is the name. And I loved the sound of his guitar and the kind of continuous sustain that he gets. So I thought, that's going to be the way to go. Here's a very bizarre story. My wife and I were driving up the M1 last Friday on our way to do some Morris dancing. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy. How can I be into a guitar like this and be a Morris musician? Well, I play melodeon. You may have seen one of my many melodeon tutorials, and my wife dances. We were off to Manchester, a place called Horridge, last Friday to spend the weekend up there with some great people making music and dancing. And we were kind of halfway there, and I said to Jenny, there's a shop in Sheffield that's got one of these guitars. How do you feel about making a detour? So anyway, she agreed, and so we did. And there were a couple of these guitars in the shop. One, this one, and another one was blue. My wife urged me to get the blue one, but it didn't feel as good. You know what it's like, two identical guitars supposedly, but one feels great, one doesn't. And anyway, I really like this colour. And I'm not sure how it's going to turn out in this video. I've seen a video for Anderton guitars where the guitar actually disappears because of this strange colour. It's really weird. It kind of looks yellow in real life. Anyway, it's a crazy colour, isn't it? But the colour is part of it, of course, but the sound is the most important thing. Let me tell you a little bit about the guitar. I've written a few things down here about it. It weighs 9 pounds. It's a pretty heavy guitar. My Strat over there weighs 7 pounds. This is 2 pounds heavier. And if I was a young man and I had to play this all night round my neck, I'd probably be okay. But now I'm not sure I could do a 2-hour gig with this strapped to me. I'd probably find it a bit heavy. But sitting down, of course, it's fine. It's kind of Strat shaped, isn't it? I'll just turn it over. It's got this kind of chamfered bit here, which is rather nice. But it's basically, you know, Strat shaped. It's got 24 jumbo frets, so you can get 2 octaves. That's not quite in that octave. I've got to do a little bit of work on the intonation. In fact, when I tried it out in the shop, that was woefully out, and I got them to tweak it. It's still not quite there, but you know, it's a work in progress. It's 25.5 inch scale length. The bridge pickup, this one here, is an EMG Retroactive Hot 70. Okay, so in other words, it's a pretty lively humbucker. And the neck pickup, well, this is the Sustainiac. And when that's not in use, I think this bit is just a normal kind of Stratty single coil kind of thing, which I'll show you in a moment. It's got a Floyd Rose special trem system, which is a complete nightmare when you go to change the strings. In fact, I did change the strings yesterday and got in a terrible panic because I put the same gauge on. I wanted 9s. I put Ernie Ball super slinky 9s on. And when I got the thing back together, the action was so low and it was rattling, and I did get in a bit of a panic. Thought I might have to get in touch with my local luthier. But a bit of tweaking of the bridge and it all went back, so it's okay. It's very low action, nice low action, which I like. But of course you need this kind of tremolo system if you're going to abuse the trem. I'm not sure I'll be doing an awful lot of that, but it's nice to have it. Of course it's locked off here in the traditional way with the 3 Allen bolts. The neck is what they call C shape. It's bolt on, 4 bolts. It's very comfortable. It's a lovely neck to hold. If you're used to a Strat, this is going to work really well for you. Now, some people say this is an ebony fingerboard and some are saying rosewood. It looks suspiciously like rosewood to me. I thought ebony was kind of sort of more continuously black, but it does appear to my eyes to be rosewood. Anyway, it's very comfortable to put my fingers on, so that's fine. The dots are quite interesting, aren't they? They're kind of offset, so you can see them when you've got your fingers in the middle of the guitar, and they're all in the fairly usual places. You've got the 3-way pickup selectors and not the 5-way you get on a Strat. Obviously up here you've got the neck pickup, in the middle it's both, and down there it's the bridge pickup. But the weird thing is, if I just put my headphones back on so I hear this, if I put it in the bridge pickup, you'd think this would be the volume control down here, but in fact it's that one, which is quite weird, isn't it? And so you guessed it, on the neck pickup is that one. It's kind of weird, quite strange. No tone control, which doesn't really bother me because, to be honest, I nearly always have the tone kind of full on any guitar I've got, but there are no tone controls on this instrument. Not that it matters, but it's made in Indonesia. I guess it's probably cheaper to have it made out there. I think Schecter are a Korean company. And I always remember years ago Mark Knopfler of Dire Straits played a Schecter, and I always liked the sound he got. It probably had something crazy built for him, not kind of a factory thing like this. But anyway, it is a very nice guitar and it's very nice to play. So how does the Sustainiac work? I've got actually the Sustainiac website up here. So this is the Sustainiac.com website. Sustainiac is a company separate from the guitar company, so certain guitar companies put this Sustainiac pickup in their guitars, and Schecter are one of them. And I'm just going to go down to the frequently asked questions. That's probably the quickest way to do this. How does the Sustainiac sustainer work? And it says, first the pickup signal is processed and amplified by the Sustainiac circuit. Then the processed and amplified pickup signal is connected to a patented Sustainiac string driver transducer, just driver for short. The driver, which is attached to the guitar, turns the amplified guitar note into vibrational energy. This vibrational energy is then fed back into the strings. The string vibration becomes more intense, and so on. A played note will actually last forever until you want to stop it, or until the electricity goes away, whichever comes first. So that's basically, that's the sort of techie bit of it, which I'm not much of a techie person, but I do kind of get the idea. Basically, in the old days, I used to have a Gibson ES175, the big sort of fat jazz thing. I bought that because Steve Howe of Yes had one. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And if you were anywhere near your amp, it would feed back in a beautiful way, not a horrible screeching microphone type of feedback. Well, this does the same thing, but you can predict when it's going to happen. With my old Gibson, I never really knew when it was going to happen. This, you can predict it. And basically, this is the Sustainiac pickup. And I'll try and get into that. Let's just talk about the straightforward guitar sounds first of all. With my Bias Effects software here, let's just get that up, shall we? So we can see what we've got. I think it's here. Yeah. So I'm using this, it's a patch I downloaded, it's called Paul Cynic Clean. So whoever you are, Paul, thank you, it's a great sound. I've got the chorus turned off. This is the bridge pickup, it's just a clean sound. Really nice sound. Here's the neck pickup, obviously much thinner. I'll turn that up a little bit. So really nice. I haven't got the Bias FX 2 software yet, which you can do guitar matching on. I'm not totally convinced about it, so I'm still thinking about that. If you want to hear this with a bit of chorus on, this is a stereo patch, as you can see. So we'll put some chorus on it. I think they're both on. Yeah. Go back to the bridge pickup. I've just got some reverb on that. It's really nice sound, isn't it? Here's both pickups, which are both are turned up. So it does a pretty good job with the clean side of things. Doobie Brothers kind of rhythm sound, I guess. But that's not what I bought the guitar for. So let's get into the rounds of the Sustainiac. And by the way, in case I forget to say, you don't have to have a super distorted sound for the Sustainiac to work, but obviously it really comes into its own if you do. So let's just change our sound here. Let's go to another sound. Let's try this. Let's turn it a tiny bit. Now this is, let's just hear the EMG pickup, no Sustainiac. I'm using a Joe Satriani patch which I downloaded for the song Crying, or instrumental Crying that he does. You might know that song. And it's a really nice sound even without using the Sustainiac. It's got quite a lot of delay on it, of course. Let's put the Sustainiac in. Now it works with these two switches here. So this switch turns it on, just on and off. This selector down here has got 3 positions. So all the way down, it's just endless sustain of the fundamental, like the normal note. I don't even have to apply vibrato to it, it will just keep going. Good sound, isn't it? My favourite is the next one, which is called Mix, and you get the extra note as well. Let's just try this. Lovely that, isn't it? That's my favourite. Then they have the top position, which is called Harmonic. So with this position you get this really high feedback, high harmonic. Which is nice. I'm not sure how much I'll use that one. What's good about the mix and the harmonic is that the feedback kind of seeps in, and you can control that. If you take this plate off the back here, sorry about the noises. And by the way, it took me forever to get this. I undid the screws, it wouldn't come off. I used one of these picture hangers, put some wet on it, put it on there and pulled it off. Otherwise it wasn't going to come off without me scratching all the paintwork up. So a bit of a hack there for you if you're trying to get your plates off your guitars. Incidentally, there's 2 batteries for this guitar, one for the Sustainiac, one for the EMG, and they're housed under these nice convenient little plates here. Usual plate for the springs, the tremolo arm, tremolo system. What is interesting with this, doesn't matter what position the pickup selector is in. So let's say I've got the single coil on, okay? As soon as I call up the Sustainiac by pushing this switch down, immediately it's the bridge pickup that's working, and then the Sustainiac part of this arrangement here starts to work and the single coil cuts out. So I could be like I am now, see, with the pickup selector on the neck position. But as soon as I call up the Sustainiac, it's this pickup that's working in tandem with the Sustainiac. So what I'll do now is I'll solo a couple of tracks on my song here, so you can just hear the thing in action. If I just play the intro of this song. Coming in. nice, isn't it? Let's play a little bit of a solo. And it only stopped sustaining there because I just took my finger off it. Play a bit more of a solo here. Couple of tracks there. Goes on. And on. And on. And of course you can use it for clean. I'll just play you a little bit of a clean lick that I played on this. So, you know, it does clean really well. Probably my Strat and my Variax might be a tad better for that. I'm not saying this is a cure-all for your guitar needs, but certainly if you're looking for that lovely sustained sound, this is a great guitar. In case you don't know, price-wise, well, it's at the moment April 2019. If you're watching this in the future, it might have gone up a bit. I think I paid about £739 for it. It was a bit of a deal. I think they're £799 normally, but you know, it's a lot of guitar for that kind of money. It's not perhaps the most refined guitar I've ever played, but for what I want it for, it's absolutely perfect. So there we are. I hope you found that interesting. I'm loving this guitar, and my wife's getting used to the colour. It's pretty bright. I've had to put it out the back because it's just so bright in the studio. It's kind of blinding when you walk in here. But it's certainly a conversation piece, isn't it? Anyway, like I said, I hope you found that interesting. If you've got any questions, do get in touch. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel, which of course is Daddy Long Les, as it says up here. Thanks for watching, and you'll see me in my next video.